Hello there, welcome to this 1v1 online battle. It is a mirror match, something you don't really see me do because I often say, oh, I don't like mirror matches, and I don't generally. But for this one I thought I'd give it a try, because I wanted to try something a little bit weird. And this, my friends, if you may or may not have noticed from the unit cards, I have no ranged units. This is a Dwarven rush army. Oh yes, their tiny little legs may be able to carry them to victory in a rush situation, so I'm going to give it a bash. My front line is a couple of units of Longbeards with great weapons for, of course, all the armor piercing needs, and then on the edges I've got Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. A slightly cheaper infantry, not quite as good. These Longbeards armor, however, looks freaking cool, I must say. Some of the Dwarf armor is probably the coolest in the game. Then to support them, I've got a Runesmith, just to buff them with some spells, and then this was the reason I wanted to play as the Dwarves, because I wanted to try out Grombrindle, the White Dwarf, who came out today. He looks like an absolute nut job, so he's my kind of guy, and we've just gone inside him. That's a bit weird. And behind them, I've got some hammerers. These are the Peak Gate Guard hammerers though. These aren't just any regular old hammerer. They have armor sundering, which is going to be good for getting through the Dwarven armor, of course. And then some more Dwarf Warriors with great weapons back here. And then over on the flank, I have 3 units of regular hammerers. These are my flanking units. Oh yes, 28 speed flanking units. If that ain't worth a bet, I don't know what is. I've also got some gyrocopters. They have a specific role, but I'll talk about that in a moment. Then over on the other flank, we've got 2 units of, who are these? Dwarf Warriors, I think. Yep, these are regular Dwarf Warriors with no great weapons, because money, basically. But they're also going to have a specific role of trying to get after the artillery, so they don't really need great weapons. We'll see how they go. And you can see I've spread my army out pretty wide. This is to try and avoid as much artillery damage as possible. It's good in that way, but it's also bad in the sense that it telegraphs what I'm going to do. Being spread so wide, it's kind of obvious I'm going to flank. My opponent's got 2 cannons and a grudge thrower, so that's the artillery I'm trying to avoid. And then 2 units of rangers at the front. One is Ulthar's Raiders, these are the fancy version. And then 1 regular version as well. So that's his ranged capabilities. And then he's also got a gyrocopter actually, like I do, the same one that I brought actually, just regular crappy old gyrocopters. And then behind that, he's got 4 units, I think, of Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. That's kind of the meat of his front line. Another unit back there. And then the Grumbling Guard. They've got some freaking cool looking armor, I must say. These are basically fancy Longbeards with great weapons. They are one to watch out for. And then what else we got? So we got Heroes and Lords. He's got basically one of everything. To me, this kind of borders on spamming. He's got one of everything, but I think 3 is really the limit. It should be 1 Lord, 1 Spellcaster, and 1 non-Spellcaster. And that should be the limit for heroes for every army. But they do look pretty cool walking together like this, to be fair. But yeah, I think caps on certain unit types and things in ladder matches would make so much more sense. It'd be more fair, it'd be more entertaining. If you play ladder matches, you probably know there's nothing more annoying than spending 5 or 10 minutes choosing your army, facing an opponent, only to find they brought a fucking cheese army, and it's a complete waste of your time. And it means that the rankings basically mean nothing, because most of the people probably got there with cheese bills. But anyway, I digress. I just wish Creative Assembly would sort it out. But these gyrocopters have come in to do their job, which is to disrupt the artillery. I purely want them to stop the artillery. Oh, look at that poor little fella. I'm worried about him now. You alright, mate? Come on, get back up. Get back in the fight, son. He's alright. I want them to stop the artillery firing anyway, to prevent it from damaging my units, of course. We've nearly arrived at the enemy now, though. My gyrocopters are just about to go, but they have saved us a little bit of damage. See, he's moving up into a bit of a box formation now, because he knows what's coming. Got Longbeards against Dwarf Warriors. We should be able to win that engagement and get through their front lines. We have taken some damage from the artillery, of course, though. And now skirmishers as well. Those axes are armor piercing. We are engaged. Dwarf on dwarf. So the front lines are engaged. My hammerers and extra Dwarf Warriors are moving up. My flanking units are coming round. My first unit hammerers are just about to reach them. It's hammer time. Oh god, I bet every YouTuber has said that when using hammers. It's hammer time. Damn my cliche ways. On the left side, he has met my Dwarf Warrior flanking party with Dwarf Warriors of his own, and mine are non-armor piercing, so they're going to struggle against his armor piercing ones. I'm trying to rush them past it though to get to the artillery, but then the Grumbling Guard are in the way. So he's keeping me from the artillery, so he's doing a good job of that. My gyrocopters are back though. They're still causing some problems for him. On the right hand side, I'm starting to move around my flanking units. One of them's got caught. I didn't mean for them to all be fighting. One of them, I think it was this one, shouldn't be here. There we go, I've moved them off now, so I'm going to try to get them to flank round the back of the enemy. Get them in the rear of some of them. Someone's wavering. These Dwarf Warriors that were fighting the Hammerers are wavering because they are no match for them. Front lines are engaged with both heroes from both parties engaged. I've got Grombrindle in there, who's taken a fair bit of damage, to be fair. I think he's been focusing the cannons on Grombrindle as I was moving up, which is kind of annoying, because I really wanted to get him into the melee fight to see what he could do. But my opponent is not really allowing that, the bastard. Cutting through these Dwarf Warriors though, they are nearly gone, and they're about to be flanked by Hammerers. They are getting pretty hammered by axes though, these little bastard rangers. Need to get the Hammerers into them, and that is exactly what I've done. Around the back, this one's trying to escape, but they have run into some angry Hammerers, so they shouldn't last too long against them because they don't have a lot of armor. The front line is broken in a few places now, so I think I've kind of won this on the right hand side over here, and he's kind of won it in the center with all his heroes smashed through my units, so kind of both won a bit there, but most of his heroes are making this pretty difficult for me. I've routed some of his units permanently though with these Hammerers, that's pretty cool. Grombrindle's still running around, trying not to get hammered by cannons too much. On the left side we're struggling, we're not going to be able to do too much against those units. His artillery has taken some damage from me, but not nearly enough. His gyrocopter is about to finish off mine. Grombrindle, oh, I saw an opportunity here. I saw a lone master engineer, so I sent Grombrindle and my runesmith after him to kick his frickin' face off. And they are doing that justly. But you can see in the distance there, the enemy character's coming my way. The Lord is coming, so I'm going to get Grombrindle out there because I don't want him dead. And I'm going to replace him with some Hammerers. Lots and lots of Hammerers. Grombrindle, he's alright. Going to send him back in now that he's got a bit of support. Didn't want him to take the charge from the enemy Lord. That was my biggest concern. But he's going to throw down a bit now with them. We'll have a little bit of 2-on-2 action. Oh, 2-on-2 plus lots of Hammerers. My runesmith's coming back. He's made his master engineer run for the hills for now. He'll probably come back though. He's got quite a bit of life. Hammerers are still tearing through their units, surrounding their runesmith. On the left, we're still there on the left. We're not completely out of it, surprisingly. This unit here, I probably should have used this unit along ways to get into their cannons. I really don't know why I didn't. I sent them in to try and kill the general. I think that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to pour everything onto their general and get him dead. I thought if I get him dead, you know, it's probably going to be game over. So this is what I'm gunning for now, although I really should have been gunning for their guns in the cannons. But same thing with this unit actually. I could have used them. Look, so many opportunities there just to charge them over, stop the cannons firing. They're probably doing a lot of damage with those cannons right now as well. So a mistake on my part, I think. But my focus is on getting that enemy Lord dead, because once he's out of the equation, things should be pretty comfortable for us. I've got Grombrindle running around. Again, he's trying to just avoid the cannons. He doesn't have much life left, so I didn't want to leave him in there with all their heroes around. I think we just routed their Thane. Master Engineer's over there. He hasn't realised yet, though. Gyrocopter's still there. There's his general fighting with my runesmith, who has just launched the Rune of Wrath and Ruin on their general, so that's going to bring his health down again, try and help us out. He's wavering now, their general. Finally, I'm getting into the cannons, I've realised. And I'm going to send Grombrindle back in now to try and finish off their general while he's low on health. Bit risky, because, you know, Grombrindle could go down. But he's going to chase him. He's wavering, he's wavered, he's routed. But Grombrindle, where is he? There he is. You can see his white hair running through the crowd. Bloody white hair. Go on, son. Chop his freaking legs off. Yeah, he's got him. He's down. Well done, Grombrindle. He killed their lord. Give him a little teabag. Whoop, 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 whoop. Dwarven teabag. Happy days. So we've got their general down. So it should be plain sailing from here. Got these Hammerers into their master engineer. Going to try and get rid of him. These are the Peak Gate Guard, actually. So they should do an okay job of that, I think. He doesn't. Well, he has quite a bit of health left, actually. He might survive them. Still got Grombrindle around. Something's being launched on him. Some kind of spell in reducing his life. They're trying to get everything after him now. You can see he sent those rangers after him, but I pulled him through the crowd and it kept him safe for now. I'm trying to just really use him to boost the morale because he's not going to be able to do a lot of damage because he doesn't have health. But both of us still have a fair amount of units around. He's still got these Ultar's Raiders. These Dwarf Warriors seem to be doing absolutely nothing to them, which is slightly concerning. There's routing going on both sides now. It's looking a bit skinny. It's a close one right now. He sent his gyrocopters after Grombrindle, who has routed from it. They're not the best attacking unit, melee attacking unit are gyrocopters because they're a bit random and all over the place, but they can do the job. I'm chasing off these Altar Raiders now because I don't want them firing or anything. I really don't know why he's running away though. It was only a small unit of beaten up Dwarf Warriors, and those Altar Raiders were in pretty good condition, so they probably could have taken them. Lots of routing units. My runesmith, he's on the jog. These gyrocopters still getting after Grombrindle. He's really trying to get Grombrindle dead. He knows that if he does, then it's going to be a huge morale loss for my units, and that'll probably be the end of me. But we're hanging in there. Just got to get through these old grumblers. So these old grumblers are probably the one thing that's keeping them in the fight right now, because they are old grumblers. It means they boost the leadership of nearby units like a lord or hero does. So they're kind of keeping a lot of his units in the fight, I think. We just got to try and take them down as quickly as possible, while still trying to keep Grombrindle alive. Some wavered hammerers are returning now. They could make the difference, as they are one of my bestest units. Did I just say bestest? Yes, I did. Here they come. They've got 3 beaten up units to get through, one of them being those old grumblers. Not going to be easy. But if anyone can do it, it's the hammerers. Without the old grumblers here, I think we'd get through them pretty easy. See, Grombrindle has returned in the background. Gyrocopters still being dickheads. And that's it, those hammerers have had enough. We've still got a few units left. Hammerers are getting through the Master Engineer. He's still around, that pissing Master Engineer. But so is Grombrindle. He's not dead yet. He's coming back for more. Still got a little bit of life. Can we do it? Can we do it? We've got a small amount of units left, so have they. Uh-oh. Gyrocopters are incoming. Oh, shit. He's coming in for the melee attack. Oh, he put Grombrindle on his ass. Get up, mate. There's more enemy dwarfs coming as well. It's looking grim for Grombrindle. Run away, buddy. He's just getting bullied by these gyrocopters. He's about to get charged, but my hammerers are back. They've come back to save him. It's all or nothing now. Those old grumblers are here, though, so they're going to be keeping the morale up, but they have just been flanked. The Grombrindle's off again. He's getting close. He's getting close. They've got a white flag, but we've got some routing. Who's going to get it? Who's going to get it? He's got more units incoming, but so have I. Just about. 1 unit of half-dead Longbeards. Grombrindle's still hoofing it. It looks like he's going to try and live to fight another day. He's off skis. Grombrindle, come back. Come back, mate. Oh, a valiant defeat. They got us. Good game. Good game to my opponent. It was a close one. You can see that, actually, my army was even bigger than his. I had just a few more troops than he did. But he did have 3 heroes, I suppose, and a lot of artillery. But there you go. There's some proof that Dwarven Rush armies do not really work that well. Unsurprisingly, of course. Although maybe against lesser armoured factions it might have worked. We did get a fair few kills, though. All across the board. Most units putting in their worth. Most notably the hammerers. My Peak Gate Guard didn't get much of a chance to do too much because they did get hammered by the artillery on the way in. I think he focus fired on them. You see his old grumblers, they did really damn well. 120 kills. They're one of his defining units. See, his Dwarf Warriors didn't really do that much. It was mostly on those boys. But pretty well spread out kills for both armies. And it really came down to the wire at the end of it. So what really transpired there? Well, I think his old grumblers, like I said, were one of his key defining units. They kept his units in the fight in that late game, when they probably would have run away if they hadn't had the morale boost of those guys. Because most of his heroes were gone or run away by that point. And I had the Longbeards with great weapons myself, who are old grumblers also, so they do the same thing. But mine were in the front line and they got destroyed pretty early. So saving them for the late game may have been a better idea. I could have had a similar effect like he did. I really should have brought some Thunderers as well. Up till like the last 10 seconds of choosing my army, I did have Thunderers in there. And then I switched them out and thought, no, I'm going to go completely dedicated to the rush. But some Thunderers, I could have taken out his skirmishers. I could have taken out his gyrocopters. I could have done some damage to his artillery. They would have been really helpful. I opted to take the Dwarf Warriors to get after the artillery instead. But that plan didn't really work out. He stopped my flanking attack pretty well early on. But later I did obviously get through with the Hammerers. And I think on that right hand side, if I had focused 2 units of Hammerers on that 1 unit of Dwarf Warriors, I would have got through them even quicker, and I could have flanked even quicker through a hole rather than going all the way around. But other than that, I don't think there was a lot to be done. I wish I could have used Grombrindle a bit more, but like I say, he did hammer them with the cannons, and I think he probably Wrath of ruined me and all his generals and heroes around. It was pretty dangerous for Grombrindle to be in that kind of central area. But there we go. There was some dwarf on dwarf action. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I will see you in the future.